Hey guys, if you wanna know what are the weapons you should invest in here in the Honor of the Wild, well you came to the right place because on today's video we're gonna go over the top 10 best weapons here in the Honor of the Wild on 2026, taking into consideration every single of the weapon pack DLCs as well as all the base game weapons. I've been playing this game for more than 6,000 hours and I've killed at least a diamond with pretty much every single weapon in the game, so believe me, I know which weapons are good for you. Now guys, before we start with the video, I just wanna ask you a question. What is your favorite weapon in the game? I would love to know. So guys, coming in at number 10, we have none other than the 22 variant. This is a weapon designed for us the small game hunters, ethical to hunt everything within the class 1, making it an ideal choice to hunt species like rabbits, hares, American minks, pine martens, and all the birds. The main competitor of this rifle is of course the 22 mag, which is also a fantastic class 1 weapon with a very high rate of fire and also perfect for the small species, with the advantage that it also covers class 2. Although to be completely honest, I would never recommend you using the 22 mag on a class 2 species, the penetration is very poor. You know, both of these weapons have a 10 round capacity, so they are pretty much tied on this aspect, but what in my opinion makes the 22 variant the better option is that the reload animation is significantly faster. The 22 mag may have a cooler reload animation, but man, is it slow. It is very slow. On this case, the 22 variant is quite faster and it's not even close. Definitely something to consider. In my opinion, both of these rifles are very close to each other, but if we also consider the 22 variant has a higher rate of fire and it also occupies less space on your inventory, I would say it is definitely the superior choice between these two. You know, the 22 variant is part of the weapon pack number 1 DLC, and it is definitely one I would recommend you getting. Very nice rifle. Now guys, coming in at number 9, we have another weapon, but this time it isn't a rifle, this time it is actually a shotgun. I'm talking about the 12 gauge Cacciatore. The 12 gauge Cacciatore is a fantastic shotgun and in my opinion it is by far the best shotgun in the game. It is my go-to weapon to hunt any upland bird or waterfowl species because it has a 6 shell capacity, which is impressive, a pretty decent rate of fire, nice reload speed, and it also lets you use the Meridian shotgun scope, which can make a difference in some instances. And the best part, it lets you use the 12 gauge birdshot for the class 1 species, the 12 gauge buckshot for class 2 to class 5 species, and the 12 gauge logs to hunt everything from class 4 to class 8. Let me tell you, the 12 gauge logs on this shotgun are fantastic, especially if you combine them with the Meridian scope. It turns into a rifle pretty much. Like, you aren't gonna be able to use it at super long ranges, but within 150 meters the slugs are very effective. They have 40 penetration. So essentially, you have the best shotgun in the game to hunt a small game, plus a very effective class 4 to 8 weapon in one. It is amazing. This shotgun is entirely part of the base game, which means that the only thing you have to do to unlock it is to obtain shotgun points by using other shotguns. It honestly doesn't take too long to unlock it. Right guys, the next weapon on our list is another rifle, the Hot Stick Caplock Muzzleloader. The muzzleloader has been part of the game for a long time. It came out on 2020 as part of the Smoking Barrels weapon pack, and it is honestly one of the most unique weapons on the entire game. It is a single shot rifle with a very slow reload animation. It also has its own exclusive scope, which is very cool, and the zero distances are a bit different to what we normally see on our rifles. It starts at 100 meters, then 150 meters, and then to 200 meters. It is a very fun rifle to shoot. It leaves a lot of smoke after each shot, but the great part about this weapon, and what in my opinion makes it worthy of being placed within this top 10, is that it has two different ammunitions. It has the 50 caliber mini balls, which cover class 4 to 8 and have 40 penetration and 30 expansion. That's crazy. And it also has the 50 caliber round balls that cover class 3 to 7 and have 30 penetration and 30 expansion. I simply love using this rifle. It may not be the most versatile, not the most powerful, but it just feels nice to shoot. It is super satisfying to see all the smoke appear after every shot and then see whatever you shot completely tear on the ground once the smoke fades away. Now coming in at number 7, we have another very unique weapon that I think is quite underrated, but maybe the most versatile gun in the game. I'm talking about the Grell Drilling Rifle. This weapon is very interesting for multiple reasons. First of all, it isn't classified as a rifle, it is a shotgun. A double-barrel 16 gauge shotgun with the ability to swap between ammo types and turn into a single shot rifle with the click of a button. Look at this. With just the click of a button, I can alternate between the shotgun mode and the rifle mode. You can load any type of 16 gauge shell on this shotgun, which could be the 16 gauge birdshot, 16 gauge buckshot or the 16 gauge logs, and at the same time you can also load the 9.3 by 74R polymer tip bullets that you can use on the rifle mode. These polymer tip bullets are ethical to hunt everything from class 5 to class 9. They have 40 penetration and 12 expansion and an effective range of approximately 150 meters. Certainly far from being an impressive ammunition, but guys, think about it. With this weapon, you have the option to use any 16 gauge shell, which cover everything from class 1 to class 7, and at the same time being able to swap to a class 5 to 9 round with just the click of a button. Isn't that cool? You can save a lot of space on your inventory by carrying this weapon because it removes the need of carrying both a shotgun and a rifle on your inventory. Like, you could carry this weapon plus a class 2 to 6 rifle and maybe also the 22 rifle, and you will already be able to kill every single animal in the game with just 3 weapons. It is definitely very useful to save space. Alright guys, coming in at number 6, we have another weapon that probably everyone knows. Hell, it may be the most used weapon on the entire game. The Sarsa 308. The Sarsa 308 honestly needs no introduction. It is a class 4 to 8 rifle on the AR platform. It has a 5 round magazine, a very high rate of fire, nice reload animation. There are simply many positive things we could say about this weapon. It is undoubtedly fantastic gun, and in my opinion it is by far the best class 4 to 8 rifle you can use for grinding. Especially class 4 and class 5 species. You simply cannot go wrong using this rifle. If you wanna grind, for example, whitetail, this is the perfect weapon. If you wanna grind fallow deer, this is also the perfect weapon. Same for mule deer and wild boar, and you can even use it to grind some of the smaller species like the foxes, as long as you don't care about getting the full score on every single kill. Look at the speed. The rate of fire on this thing is unmatched, and it really comes in handy whenever you need to take those follow-up shots on quick succession. The Sarsa 308 comes as part of the Modern Rifle Weapon Pack DLC, which also comes with the Sarsa 22LR and the Sarsa 223, but honestly forget about those. This is the weapon that matters. So coming in at number 5 guys, we have what may be my favorite rifle on the entire game, the Moradi Model 1894 Lever Action Rifle. This rifle is part of the Ambusher Weapon Pack DLC, and the penetration it has is insane. It uses the 44 caliber, which is classified as a handgun caliber in game, so it can also be used on some handguns, and as you may know, the penetration on the handgun calibers tends to be quite high. It has 70 penetration on the flat nose hardcast bullets and 17 penetration but 70 expansion on the hollow point bullets. It is simply a beast. You know, the fact it covers everything from class 3 to class 8 already makes it one of the most versatile weapons on the entire game, simply because there are very few weapons that cover more than 5 classes within the same caliber. This one covers 6. And the best part about it is that not only the penetration is crazy, it also has a 6 round capacity. How many rifles do you know that have a 6 round capacity in game that are within this class? This one is the only one. It is an amazing rifle for grinding medium-sized species, and the only reason why I didn't rank it higher despite being possibly my favorite rifle is simply because it has a maximum zeroing distance of 150 meters, which is honestly quite limited. If this rifle was able to zero up to, for example, 300 meters, it simply wouldn't have any competition. It would be by far the best rifle on the entire game, in my opinion. But honestly, despite this very significant limitation, I still think this rifle is definitely within the top 5 best weapons on the entire game. You may not be able to be super accurate at more than 200 meters, but within 200 meters, this rifle is perfect. Personally, I've killed several diamonds and several rares using this weapon, and I've never had any issue. Now, coming in at number 4 on our list, we have another weapon that I would never get tired of using. That is the Rhino 454 and the Sundberg 454. They are pretty much the same thing. I'm personally never been a huge fan of the handguns on this game, but this one is definitely something else. All of these handguns are base game weapons, which is a huge advantage. For example, the Sundberg, you can unlock it as soon as you start playing the game, which is amazing because it is gonna let you start increasing your handgun score right off the bat. The handgun score is super important on this case because it's only through the handgun score that you'll be able to unlock both the handgun scope, which is very useful on this weapon, and also the 454 flat nose hardcast bullets, which are honestly the best part about this pistol. They have 100 penetration and they cover everything from class 4 to class 9. They are amazing. You are gonna be able to drop a great number of species on the spot with a single shot, and be able to destroy any aggressive class 9 animal that doesn't keep its distance. Now, the main disadvantage of this handgun, apart from the fact that the hardcast bullets can take a while to unlock, is the fact that it can only zero up to 75 meters, even though it's still very effective at much longer ranges. This can be a problem because, of course, you'll have to aim higher the farther the target is at more than 75 meters, making it hard to be accurate, but with enough practice you'll realize it isn't actually too hard to hit shots at more than 200 meters with this weapon. You just have to, as I said, aim higher the farther the target is. Now guys, coming in at number 3, we have another beast of a weapon, the Malmer 7mm. Just as the Morari model, the 7mm Malmer is one of the most versatile weapons on the entire game. It covers 6 animal classes from class 4 to class 9 and it offers some pretty decent penetration. Carrying this weapon removes the need of carrying both a class 4 to 8 rifle and a class 7 to 9 rifle, and believe me when I say that it is a very reliable gun. Accuracy won't be an issue with this one, it is great at both short distances and long distances, and it barely has any bullet drop. It has 3 shots instead of 1 if you compare it with the base game 7mm, and the penetration is also higher compared to the typical class 4 to 8 rifles. It may not shoot as fast as other rifles, and it may have a bit more recoil compared to something like the Sarsa 308, but it's really not an issue. If you want an all-around rifle that is super versatile, I would definitely recommend you getting this weapon, which is part of the Hunter Power Weapon Pack. Very cool DLC. Alright guys, now it is time to go over what I consider is the second best weapon on the entire game, the Frost 257. This gun is actually a very recent addition since it came out on August 2025 as part of the Pump, Flip and Fire Pack DLC, and it is a direct competitor to both the Quiz Reaper and the 243 Ranger, being ethical to take down everything from class 2 to class 6. The main advantage of this rifle over, for example, the Quiz Reaper, which is also a fantastic rifle within this class, is that not only it doesn't have as much bullet drop, it is also significantly lighter, occupying only 3 units of space on your inventory. It may not have the 5 shots the Quiz Reaper has, but honestly, when are you gonna need more than 4 shots on a class 2 to 6 rifle? Like, keep in mind, you're gonna be shooting mainly small and medium-sized animals with this thing. Using more than 4 shots is rarely gonna be needed. The accuracy of this gun is honestly impressive, and in my opinion, that is also one of the main reasons why I would choose it over any similar weapon. I mean, the Quiz Reaper is also quite accurate when using the right zeroing distance, but the bullet drop can give you some trouble a lot of times. Missing hits that should be hits definitely happens more often than with the Frost. Now guys, it is time. Coming in at number 1 on our list of the top 10 best weapons on the entire game, we have none other than the Arsaina 300. It was honestly hard to choose between this one and the Valgarda 375, because they are similar, and to be frank, the Valgarda is also a very strong choice. The Arsaina has a 5-round magazine, while the Valgarda has a 4-round magazine. The 375 polymer tip bullets have a bit more penetration than the 300, making the Valgarda a bit stronger, but what really makes me choose the Arsaina over the Valgarda is simply the rate of fire. It simply shoots very fast due to it being on an AR platform. You know, these two weapons are only class 7 to class 9, so they aren't precisely versatile since they only cover 3 classes ethically, but that doesn't mean that you cannot use them on pretty much everything, especially while grinding. If you don't care about getting the full score on every single kill, and if the only important thing for you is to be able to kill hundreds of animals as quickly as possible, then using the Arsaina 300 will be a complete game changer. You can use it while grinding class 4s, class 5s, class 6, may not be ethical for them, but the important thing is that it's gonna get the job done, it's gonna drop him, and very quickly. This rifle is included as part of the High Caliber Weapon Pack DLC, which I would really recommend you getting because apart from the Arsaina, it also includes the Strandberg 10 gauge, which is a very decent semi-automatic shotgun, and of course the Jernberg 4570, single shot pistol, amazing penetration, very nice weapon. Now guys, that is gonna be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget, if you enjoy this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.